question that I received is from a man called Amir. And Amir wanted to know when he is going to get married. It's interesting, this is probably the number one question that I receive all the time, closely followed by when will I have children and how many. And often I get asked the best time to have children, which is another method of astrology called electional astrology, because one can elect the best time for something, including the conception of children. So Amir wants to know when he's going to get married. Now in this chart, he is represented by Venus, and his future spouse is represented by Mars. Venus and Mars are very closely connected in this horoscope, and they will meet within a degree. Now, they are placed in the 8th house, so again, you see this recurring theme in all of these questions. There's this issue of the other person's money. It could be that he has not been able to find someone who has money like he was hoping for. Or it may be that his own money is an issue and these women are simply looking for someone who has more cash. The good news for Amir is that he is going to get married probably within a year of asking this question. So we're hoping that by June 2010 he should be able to be married, or at least be engaged to be married very shortly after that. The difficulty here that he faces is because he is represented by Venus, he is probably very appealing. Usually Venus is the planet of beauty and love, so it's someone who is pretty attractive and women probably like him. However, again, there's this difficulty of finances. So it's important in the meantime that he gets his own financial house in order. To the extent that he can make extra money on the side, he needs to get a better paying job, something like this to make himself a little bit more appealing in women's eyes. That will help him a great deal. Now, if we look at his future spouse, she looks very attractive and it's someone that he is going to be in love with. So it's not like he's going to have to settle for second best or someone he doesn't like just so he can get married and be done at the right time. So that's the good news. Because Venus and Mars are placed in the 8th house, this always shows some kind of delays. So yes, the marriage will happen, but it's going to be a difficult process. He's going to have to put some extra effort into looking. He's going to work hard to earn some extra money, to be a little bit more appealing. In other words, this is not something that's just going to happen to him one morning. He will have to put in some extra effort in order to get married. The good news is that he definitely will marry, and I am very optimistic about his chances. The fourth question I have been asked, is from a woman called Wafa, who wants to know whether she will return to her husband after a 2-year divorce. Now, this is always a tricky question, because I have noticed in my practice that the longer the couple is separated, the more difficult it can be to get them back together. This is just natural, of course. If the marriage only lasted 1 year and they've been separated for 2 years, the odds are not very favorable for a return. However, the moment that I cast this chart is very positive for all questions of marriage. So we see here this connection with Venus and Mars, and again, as in Amir's previous question, yes, there will be a return to the husband probably within a year. The difficulty in this particular question is that we have Venus and Mars combined with Saturn. Now, Saturn again is in the 12th house of secrets. So there is something going on with this divorced couple that somebody is not telling the full truth. It could be the woman, it could be the man, it could be both. Part of the complication, of course, that since they have been single for 2 years, one or both of them could be in some other relationship, which of course would make reunion difficult. And I suspect that though the two of them will get back together, it's not clear whether that reunion will last. And this is most likely because there will be something hidden. Perhaps a person. It could be some kind of personal secret. For example, some kind of financial difficulty. It could be some kind of lifestyle or personality problem that will just come back. So yes, you may get back together, but it doesn't mean that the previous problems will have gone away. It will take a great deal of effort and a great deal of patience if you really want to go back to your husband to make sure that the problems that drove you apart in the first place, the problems that caused the divorce, that they will not come back again. That is the greatest challenge, and that is the biggest problem that I often see when couples are trying to get back together. It's because the problems that drove them apart are still there waiting for them. So unless a person is willing to make a great personal change, a great lifestyle change, and completely transform the way they look at life, they are not going to be able to create a successful relationship, even if they get back together for a period of time. So my suggestion would be to take a good look at yourself and also a good look at your former husband and see what, if anything, you would change to prevent these problems from happening again in the future. The other comment I would have for Amir is that there is something about this marriage that, at least initially, there will be some kind of secret. It may be that he will have to keep it a secret from his family or friends or something like this, or the woman will have to keep it a secret. Eventually everything will turn out fine, but there is something going on here that is hidden, and that will make it a little bit more nerve-wracking than a marriage or an engagement normally would be.